Eldritch fan, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, don't review these movies. Review the people who review these movies. I have no interest watching. I don't even bother to click on the screaming reviews. I don't blame you, sir. And don't worry, this is not a review of the movie. Who in their right mind goes to see this movie? I've already seen some of the usual talking heads on YouTube doing their reviews. You can't even make the argument this time that I'm taking the bullet for you guys. I'm going to see it so you don't have to. Nobody in their right mind wants to go see this movie. The only people who want to go see this movie are those who have already made the decision to like it, and your review is not going to do anything for them. So it's straight up just clickbait. Anybody who's doing reviews of this movie and going to see it so they can tell you about it, it's what I've always talked about. People who are seeking out reviews of this movie. Why? This certainly isn't a review of this movie. Actually, I've got something pretty specific I want to talk about, but I want to use the movie as an example, and not just this movie, but the phenomena that we see this movie as a great example of. But yeah, good point there, Eldritch fan. And Astro Squirrel. Yep, all of the usual channels are throwing money at Disney just to trash a film we already knew would be bad. They never learn. Exactly. And sadly, we can't, we can only blame the channels, but so much because they wouldn't be doing it if people didn't flock to them and give them those clicks and want to hear them trash talk the movie that they know is already going to be trash, but they got to have that drama. They got to have that, sense of community and stuff. So yeah. But Leia Plus Size did say, what is the difference between the Marvels and the Barbie movie? Great point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, they stay away from the Marvel, but give money to Barbie. I thought about that just the other day. I thought, every single one of these channels that tried to say, Barbie's pretty good. It's just not made for us. It's made for women. It's fine. It's okay. Every single one of those channels, if they have any integrity at all, would be saying the exact same thing about the Marvels. It was just, again, for whatever reason, it was just sort of acceptable to kind of give Barbie a pass. That was kind of the status quo. That's what you needed to do. I mean, you didn't get quite as much sanctions against you as a channel for speaking out against Barbie as you would for, say, something like Spider-Man No Way Home. But yeah, that was just one of those things. It was ridiculous why people give Barbie a pass. I'll never understand that. All of the success from Barbie just paved the way for that woman to ruin the Chronicles of Narnia, which she's doing now. And I can't wait for all the channels that just gave Barbie a pass to start, bringing their critique against, Chronicles of Narnia. I'm like, you did that, But yeah, for this movie, like, what's the difference? You could say the exact same thing they said about Barbie about the Marvels. Well, it wasn't made for you. It's made for women, or it's made for this kind of woman, or hey, whatever. It's just drives me crazy. I'm not going to mention the channel name that you said, but you said that you watched somebody's review of it, and it's not uber woke, but it's not good either. I don't understand that either. And again, I'll get to my main topic here in a second, but it's still about the movie. There's this sense of, and I haven't seen the review you're talking about because I just don't bother watching these reviews, but there's this sense of false piety when somebody reviews a movie that's crap and everybody knows it's crap, and they try to say, I watched it and it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't anything great, but it's almost like a nonconformist thing. Like, I'm more open-minded than the average person, and I'm going to come out here and tell you the truth about it, and they're not saying it's good, so they can't quite, face that kind of backlash, but they're just pretending that, I watched it, this and that. Like I've heard people say that about Ghostbusters 2016, it wasn't a bad movie. I mean, don't believe all the hype. Is it great? No, but it's not. it's almost like you think you're being original with that. I mean, is it great? No, but it's not bad. That's just the most laziest review. Yeah. Welcome. I haven't seen you here before. It says, speaking of Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, how do you even go about fixing that character after all the awful comics films? Any thoughts? That's a good point. I mean, I love the original Carol Danvers in the comics. I had, her in the thumbnail there. Love the original Carol Danvers, right up through, blanking on his name right now. Who's the Apes and Babes guy? Frank Cho. Right up through Frank Cho's kind of re-envisioning of her. I really like that era too. like her as a character, like her as you know, and I don't think there was anything there was nothing too derivative of Green Lantern for her to get her powers from Marvel and all that. That was not any more. That was not in any way too derivative of Green Lantern than Iron Man was of Batman. You know, oh, another billionaire uses his money in tech. You know, to be a how come that got a pass? But the writers for the original Captain Marvel movie are like, we have to change it up because she otherwise it's too much like Green Lantern. You know, that was their excuse to change it up and make it more of a feminist platform. But there's nothing wrong with doing it the way she was originally. I love her story as told in the Marvel series, the animated series before Disney brought out Marvel. I think it was Marvel's or the Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, I think. I know some of the different series have been out there. I might be getting the name slightly wrong, but it's the one that was done before Disney bought, the one that Disney quashed, just totally put an end to. And it was a great series, really great series. And you got a really cool origin on screen, animated screen anyway, of Carol Danvers' origins as a hero, through Sword and all of that. So that was pretty good.